It's here, it's October 1st, it's time for Shocktober!
Bibles, cigarettes, and drugs. I carve your name in my flesh. Then come and take my hand. Tongues.
Is it over yet?
3 hours later.
So welcome to Shocktober, guys. It's October 1st and we kick off my new series of 31 movies in 30 days with the classic Salem's Lot. That's the original 1979 miniseries version by Stephen King and Toecutter, of course. This one was requested by the YouTuber Toecutter, so hopefully you're watching and this one's for you. Right, I'm going to try to keep these reviews not too long, don't want to bore you guys. I do have a tendency to waffle, I will try not to. I also try when I do reviews, if you're not a usual viewer, to me a review is not this happened, then that happened, and then they did this, and then they said that, and then they did this. That's the plot, guys. That's telling us what happened. It's not a review, so no, we're not going to be doing that. I have no issue with spoilers when people tell you they're going to give them. I have no issue with people taking apart the plot of movies, but please don't say it's a review if you're just going to tell us what happened from start to finish. That's not a review. Okay, so to get that out of the way, let me just say before I start, I really enjoy this novel. I do enjoy a lot of Stephen King novels. Some adaptations are more accurate and successful than others. This movie is widely revered, should I say this mini-series. I sat down last night. I have seen this before, admittedly not in a lot of years. I'd forgotten it was 3 hours long. I was looking at my watch after 2 hours thinking, what's going on here? And then I checked the running time, 3 hours. Oh my goodness. Right, first off, let me say, I think in a lot of ways the adaptation was successful, but my main gripe about this, and I'm sorry, I know it's widely revered, it's getting 10s across the board on IMDb, people say it's a masterpiece. It's too bloody long. I'm sorry, but it's packed with so many insignificant happenings, it's full of inconsistencies, it doesn't fully explore areas that it should, instead concentrating on ridiculous, like David Soul trying to close the door of his car multiple times. Doesn't go into different characters properly. This isn't going to be a popular opinion, I'm sorry, but I find this movie really slow, really, just, it made me feel really weary. I was really disappointed because I remember having watched this as a child and been really creeped out by it. My dad being a big Stephen King fan, so I watched all of Stephen King's movies back in the day. I suppose I should tell you this is a Stephen King novel adapted by Toecutter and stars David Soul of Starsky and Hutch fame. I've written them down here. James Mason, Lance Kerwin and Bonnie Bedelia. So, Salem's Lot was originally a TV miniseries and it follows the character Ben, played by David Soul, who goes back to his hometown of Salems Lot, obviously in Maine, being Stephen King, with the intention to write a book about a creepy house there, the Marsden house. When he used to live in the town, saw something rather creepy in the house when he was 10 years old. He's coming back, going to write a book, finds that the house has been rented since by someone else, played by James Mason, and things start to happen. Things are a bit weird in the town, and David Soul, with other people's help, is getting to the bottom of what's going on. Obviously, we all know this is a vampire flick, so there's an invisible partner that is in cahoots with a person that now lives in the house, and when they arrive in town, people start to die, people start to get ill, get sick, anemia. Bing. That's the basic premise. I'm not going to go into any more detail. Like I say, it's a review, not a plot synopsis go through. It made me weary. It made me tired. It's one of those movies maybe you have to be in the mood to watch, and like I say, I didn't watch the shorter version. I watched the just over 3-hour version. I will say that some of the imagery in this movie is amazing. The makeup for the vampires I loved. That's my look for vampires, like the whole Nosferatu thing. I love it. Loved how they looked. Love that creepy scene with the little boys outside the window, like Lost Boys obviously copied. Just love that whole thing. The bit where, you know, like the guy's in the chair and he's saying, "Look at me." And it starts off quite creepy and freaky, and it just then gets a bit silly, and then you're laughing at him as you're looking at him. Look at me. So, disappointing, I have to say. I apologise, Toecutter. I know you probably love this, and other people that have commented on the fact I was doing this one have said it's a real classic, it's a masterpiece. It just made me really tired. It made me really weary. There were instances of the movie that I really enjoyed, and it could have been so much better if they'd cut a bit of that time off, concentrated more in some areas than others, and really played upon that, the sort of the makeup, the feel of the movie in the suspenseful aspect was really good, but there was just too much emphasis on talking nonsensical nonsense that wasn't required, things that weren't needed for the plot, and then other places where, if you've read the book, the holes are ridiculous. Obviously, I'm not one of these people that says you have to have read the book. Most times the book is better than the movie. I know that. It's always the case with Stephen King, mostly anyway. But I don't know, I was really disappointed with this, even having not read the book. It was just slow. I watched this with my husband, who's also a big horror fan. His love tends to fall around Hammer movies, the old Universal movies. He likes loads, he's a big Romero fan. He likes a pretty broad section of horror, just to give you another viewpoint, and it bored him to tears as well. He was really bored watching it. I was really bored watching it. Aside from those few moments of creepiness, that was it. Was it worth 3 hours of my evening for a few scenes that maybe culminated all together in about 2 minutes of footage? Sadly for me, no, it wasn't. Salem's Lot may be one I return to when the mood strikes me. Is it one that you should sit down and watch when you're maybe not in the mood for that kind of thing? No. But that's the joy of Shocktober, folks. You watch what you're given. You're not going to like everything. You're not going to be in the mood for everything every night. This is not one that I particularly was in the mood for. Was I in the mood for? Would I have enjoyed it anymore? I don't know. It bored me. I'm going to get harangued for this, I know, but this is it, folks. This is why the horror community is interesting. We all have different opinions on different things, and I personally find this dull, dull, dull. What can I say? I'll leave you with giving it a score out of 10. I'm going to give this one a 5 for imagery, for the suspenseful feel of things, but it's not one I'm going to rush out to watch again in a hurry. And I'll leave you with that there for now. Tomorrow the movie that's been chosen is Trick or Treat. I will obviously include in that video who has asked for that movie to be reviewed. And while I'm here, the last thing I would like to do is just a shout out to some of my fellow YouTubers and friends that are also doing the 31 Days of October. I'm going to put a list up here of the names of people that are close YouTuber friends of mine that if you do like watching the movie a day review, check these guys out folks. They're doing it also, and they're people that I have a lot of time for. So thanks for joining me in the first of my Shocktober reviews. Sorry it wasn't a more positive one, but there we go, you can't win them all. So over and out, until tomorrow.